welcome to a Flossy Friday. I hope that y'all had a fantastic week and weekend last week. And let's dive into what's happened this week. So on a personal note, I am doing fine. I have had some headaches this week, but I think it's because literally it's so hot outside. And my number one migraine trigger is temperatures. So ready for fall. Which I'm sure all of you are too. I know it's been hot everywhere. But our heat and humidity have just been skyrocketed, and it's definitely taking a toll on my headaches and things like that. But otherwise, I've been fantastic. Potter is doing really good. He's actually sleeping in the window right now. And as far as the work situation goes, it's over. I still don't know how much I can really talk about it, because I don't know how I can really talk about it without possibly getting in trouble. And I'm really hoping that one day I really fully can talk about it, but I also just don't know. But to put it super vague, we had a coworker who was doing things they shouldn't on several different levels, and was genuinely uncomfortable to be around, unnerving, made us not feel safe, on a couple different levels, on a psychological level and on a actual physically safety level. Because whenever you're dealing with somebody with certain types of traits, I don't know if I can say the actual word or not, but whenever you're dealing with somebody with certain types of traits, you don't know what can trigger them to act in a physically harmful way. So it was just kind of always on eggshells, and lots of tension, and just nerves and emotions really high, because the rest was psychological mind games. I think that's probably the best legal way that I can say kind of what was going on. Now, the situation at work, obviously done, gone. They're no longer there. So work has literally this week, it's been a breath of fresh air. Don't get me wrong, we're still super stressed and super busy, and I actually have come home one at least 2 nights and taken an accidental nap. I should honestly, again, I know I said it last week, but I should really stop calling them accidental, but I truly do not mean to actually fall asleep. I just mean to come home and lay down for a minute and just hang out with Potter and watch a YouTube video, and I just fall asleep. It just happens. I say that every time, but seriously, that's the truth. But anyways, the vibe at work has been 100% better. We've all been just way more productive, a breath of fresh air, a weight lifted off our shoulders. There is still some I don't know, residual, could they possibly do something in the future? Because those types of people think about things methodically and take things out at later dates. I don't know. It is something that we are just aware of, and try to be aware of our surroundings in certain places, but hopefully hopefully it'll be fine. But anyways, that situation is like so much better. Okay, let's get into actual stitching because everything else is perfectly golden. So let's talk about stitching. So what was I up to this week? So last weekend I worked on my map sal. If you watched my previous video that I released, it was supposed to come out on Monday, the day that Locust 3 came out, but I did some really fun, for me it was fun to edit. I mean, I didn't do like crazy editing, but I did some extra editing than what I have been doing lately because lazy. It kept on saying that part of the video was corrupt, but it wouldn't tell me which part. So I just kind of messed with it, and it took me an extra like day or so. So it went up like Wednesday morning or something like that. But finally it went up, and really, really cool video. It's all about establishing your land and sea boundaries and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I did last weekend. I haven't posted any pictures of that since I picked out my colors on my Instagram. So if you do want to see my map sal, definitely check out one of the map videos and you can see its progress so far. So that's what I worked on during the weekend. Also worked on Bitter Brew, so we'll talk about Bitter Brew next. To not get this done, I still have like the crows across the top, to finish filling in the pumpkin, and to do the, like, it's kind of like a garland across the top and bottom of the pumpkin. So not too much left, but this pumpkin is taking longer to fill than I thought that it would, but this is where Bitter Brew is. So just a reminder, this is on 32 count Lugana, or not, it might not be Lugana. It's either Lugana or even weave. Honestly, I can't remember. I think they labeled it as even weave, but anyways, it's a 32 count even linen, and it is by Fabric Flare in the orange bats pattern, but I got it off of seller who deals Fabric Flare on Etsy. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. This is by Hands on Design. I picked out my own colors. It's the similar, some of them are the called for DMC conversion and some of them are different because of my fabric. And then I did change almost all the Krynics because I just wanted to. Yeah, I'm really excited. All my Krynic is done. All the bottles are done. I think they look really, really cool. I did do them in a pattern. I thought about it later and I was like, probably shouldn't have done that, but I actually kind of think that it looks really cool. It brings some more symmetry to the center of the piece, and I still think I'm going to make this into like a bunting for Halloween, so I'm pretty excited about it. All right, so that is that whip. I am going to continue working on that through this next week in the evenings, mixed in with my new start. If you checked out my Instagram, I started something new last night. So you'll see it here in a minute. I'm also going to continue working on my A Year of Celebrations. So this is also by Hands on Design, Kathy Haberman. And this is also stitched on a 32 count Lugana, but this is by Pictures Plus and it is in the color Bramble. So I've changed up a lot of the colors on here. This purple is actually supposed to be the orange. The orange, purple, and the green. So the green in this square, these two squares, this square up here, and in the little stalks for the pumpkins are all of my colors. I sometimes dye threads. And so the orange is mine, the purple is mine, and the green, which is a variation of, you can see its variation. It goes from like a bright all the way to a dark on the same strand. It's very variegated, are all of my dyes. So I've been trying to incorporate some of my threads in these pieces and I'm really loving the way they look. But I only have 4 colors left. I still have a fair amount to do, I'm not gonna lie. but this is still my lunchtime stitch. So I'm hoping to get October done this next week at lunch. So I'm going to continue working on that at work on my lunch break, and then whenever October is done, I'll move on to November and December. I think I may finish October and then switch to working on Be Inspired, because I really, really, truly want to finish that. And also possibly my autumn ABCs, because I really want to finish that as well. And I can finish the November and December block for a year of celebrations, at least by October. So I'm kind of thinking that I may do that and change up my lunch stitch once October is finished. Should I show my fabric of the month before my new start? I love my new start so much. That's why I'm kind of wanting to save it until last. I'm just so excited about it. Okay, so I'm gonna save it till last because that's how thrilled I am about this. So I'm gonna show what the free gift was for my baker's dozen. It took a little bit longer to get here. I was actually starting to get worried about it. That's how long it took to get to me this week, that I reached out to Dreama and said, hey, can you check the tracking? Because she does get tracking for everything, but it doesn't send to you through PayPal, or at least it doesn't for me. Some people it might, but she does have it and she does keep up with it. So I was just like, for whatever reason, it's just taking longer than normal. So I'm just trying to see if it got stuck somewhere. And so she checked the tracking for me and said, you know, it should be there by tomorrow. It is taking unusually longer. Let me know if it doesn't make it there. So luckily it did. So it was really awesome. She answered back super quick, which is just amazing customer service. So definitely check out Dreama. And her shop is in, why can't I think of the name of it right now? I can't think of it right now. I can't think of it. Oh my. Needlecraft Corner? It's in Maryland. Why am I such a very forgetful person? Hold please, because that's gonna bother me. Wow. My brain is not working very well. So annoying. Needlecraft, yeah, Needlecraft Corner. Jeez. Okay, I know things, but then my brain forgets them. Okay, so our free gift this time was cross stitch project cards. It is a 3 count and it's by Low Ran, and it holds up to 20 flosses and also has a magnet as a needle minder for you. So it will hold your needles as well as 20 flosses. I don't use floss cards and things like that for most things. I just leave the flosses all willy-nilly across my table. I do use floss cards or thread keepers in patterns that have blends, because once I make blends, if there's extra and I don't need them for a little while, I like to put them on thread cards or thread keeper rings and things like that. So I'll definitely use these for patterns with blends. I don't have any right now, but the next time I do, this will come in handy. So that was our free gift for this month. And my fabric for this month was my 32 count. I get a 4th cut, picture this puss, and it was in sand. So here we go, sand. It's a really nice neutral. I have this in an Ada cut. I've either stitched something on it, or I have something planned to be stitched on it, or it's possibly also just sitting in my fabric collection. I'm not really sure. I know that I have a piece of sand somewhere and something's either on it or it's not. But that one's also in Ada. So a little bit different color variation because the different fabrics do dye a little bit different, but it's a beautiful, beautiful neutral. So a really, really good one to have in your collection arsenal. So very happy about that. But I am excited. I think next year's Baker's Dozen is supposed to be a little bit more of the outrageous color fabrics. So there's that. Okay, so I had a new start. If you're on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, or if you just swing by every once in a while and see what I'm doing, I did start something new last night. I just couldn't help it. Now, I haven't even made a working copy of this because my printer is currently out of black ink. So I have not made a working copy of my new holiday hoopla, but that's okay because Heather and I are still figuring out a weekend for us to get together so we can stitch these together. And I haven't made working copies for these because I'm not stitching this series in order. So I want to have my working copies for all of them ready on hand, but I'm out of black ink. So I've just had them like sitting in my living room until I go and get black ink so I can make my working copies and like kit things up or put them in already existing kits like the Scary Apothecaries. And I just couldn't help looking at this anymore. And I'm a highlighter, y'all. I highlight everything honestly till it's dying breath, till the very last square. I don't know why, like even if I have like 5 stitches left, I can't. Sometimes I can, but more often than not, I have to still highlight it, even though it's then going in the trash because the piece is finished. I have to highlight it. I don't understand it. It's part of my OCD. I like having things be complete. It is what it is. Anyways, I couldn't sit next to this anymore and not start it. I had an idea of a fabric that I wanted. I either wanted to do this on Cauldron or Memory. If you've seen my Instagram, you know what it's on. I'll give you a hint. It's on Cauldron. I couldn't anymore. I am making some changes. So the bats, I'm going with a little bit more of a gray color. The flowers, I'm doing in 2 different colors, the big flowers. I'm doing them in an orange colorway, but also in a purple colorway. And the smaller little square flowers, I'm doing in like a gold and peachy tone color. And I'm making the cat white. It's gonna be Potter. I think black cats are super, super Halloween-y, and I absolutely love that. My birthday is 2 days before Halloween. It's literally my favorite holiday. I really like Christmas, and the candy at Easter is the best, but Halloween is by far the coolest holiday. It just is. But this is something that I would honestly leave out year-round if it wasn't a black cat, and Potter is the best. So I'm gonna make this a white cat, and he's gonna have pink ears and a pink nose instead of this orangey color. And so I'm just tweaking it a bit. I'm just changing it up just a little bit, making it a bit more like it can be out year round, but it's also gonna be super cute for Halloween, because also bats are one of my favorite animals at the zoo. Obviously, I love pandas. I've also always been strangely addicted to, or like obsessed with, gorillas, bats, lizards, like the kimono dragon, and iguanas and chameleons. I used to have a chameleon. I wanted an iguana. Almost had my mom convinced until she found out how big they could get. I was close though. So I've always liked kind of the more obscure animals. And so for me, this is 100% like a year-round piece, like 100%. So without further ado, I don't think I've got a pretty good start for only working on it for about 2 to 2.5 hours last night. Pretty good start. I think I'm not the fastest stitcher, but I am pretty proud of this. And my piece of Cauldron, so this is the other half. I did cut it in half. So this was half of my piece of Cauldron. So more like sparsely scattered orange streaks through this half. The other half, the half that I'm using, had giant chunks of orange, and so I was like, that's the fabric. And there's this one really big one in particular that's actually like really dark and kind of fades out. It's beautiful. And I don't know how I lucked out with the placement of it, but it hits where the moon is perfectly. So again, this is 32 count Lugana, picture this plus, cauldron. And the moon is completely finished. So that's some of my colors. Started the cat, started a bat. I am trying to color complete, but I wanted to complete the moon because I wanted to kind of like test out some of my like golds, and this is actually a light orange, but it's showing up more yellow on the orange in the fabric. But really, really, really super love this. But I like to color complete. I'm trying to get all of the dark green of the vining done. So that's why I kind of had to start the cat a little bit to do this like massive vine to come out here, because this massive vine connects to these, and then this one, which is started right here, connects down to where I can easily do all of the rest of on this side. So I am trying to color complete, and then I will probably finish out like the flowers and all that. So anyways, this is it so far. I love it so far. Look how cute this little bat, his little legs, so cute. So anyways, and I'm doing significantly well for not having a working copy that I can highlight all over. I'm trying, like, so far I haven't had any mess ups, so pretty proud of that. At least I'm pretty sure I don't have any mess ups. So I'm so far pretty proud of that. So we'll see. Trying to keep that up. So that is what I have worked on this week. My lunchtime stitch is going to stay the October year of celebrations, and then like I said, I might change it up. This weekend I may or may not work on my maps again, but again, that'll be in the maps video if I do. But I may push that off for like a week or two to get more done on Bitter Brew and Gone Batty by Brenda Gervais with My Needle and Thread. I didn't say the name of this, although I flashed this up enough. Let's see what else. But yeah, I really want to finish up Be Inspired, my year of celebrations, continue working on the Scary Apothecary series. I want to finish Autumn ABCs because it's the last ABCs in the series that I need to finish. And it's right at autumn. And then the other thing, where'd it go? The other thing that I may have one more new start next week. I don't know. I haven't fully 100% decided, but I may have one more new start, and it's Silver Creek Samplers, When Life is Done. And September is my hard month. It's not only my mom's birthday month, but it's also her passing month. So September is just emotionally a really hard month for me. But I've already picked out all my colors. I'm not changing things drastically, but I am changing things to be more like personalized. And I am going to stitch it on this piece of fabric that I dyed myself that I called Arabian Nights. So this is the piece of fabric that I would be using. And I'm gonna do it start in more this corner where she's kind of like in the green and blue area, and the sun goes into like this sunsetty like purpleness, and then I'll have this really cool like yellow side of it left. So I may start this next week. I may start this Labor Day weekend, but this is something that for whatever reason my heart is drawing me to start this and work on this in the month of September. We have a special guest. So that's this is why. That is exactly why I don't normally keep the originals. Some of them I do because I need these for colors, but that's the exact reason why I don't keep the original with my kits. Or I try not to. The exact reason why. You just witnessed it. Okay, so I don't know. I may have one more news start next week because I really want to get that going, but I may wait until next weekend for Labor Day weekend and make it kind of like a September focus piece. I haven't really decided. We'll see how I feel throughout the week, but I hope that y'all have a great weekend and a fantastic Stitchy week this upcoming week, and I will see y'all next time. Ooh, one last thing. If you stuck with me to the end of this video, kudos. But I was talking with Adele, and we were talking about our like oldest whips and like just tossing out some. And I'm thinking of recording like somewhere between 2 and 3 videos of kind of like a whip parade, but like a whip declutter video, as well as maybe like this is how I keep all of my stuff, kind of like this is how I keep all of my Stitchy supplies organized. But my craft room is kind of exploded right now, so it'd kind of be like a organize with me, but also you kind of get to see my stash kind of a video. I don't know. Let me know if y'all would be interested in that. I'll probably record it, and it may go up or not, depending on if people really want to see that or not. But let me know down below if that's something that you'd be remotely interested in seeing, because some of my stuff is super organized, like OCD anal retentively, and some of it is not, because I'm always like pulling fabrics and stuff. So like my fabrics are explosively not organized. And neither are like my patterns in waiting. They're not organized. But like my kits and stuff and like my threads, very organized. So if you would be interested in seeing all the different organizational boxes and things that I use, plus possibly see me get some new organizational stuff to make my current situation for certain things better, and record it all and talk about it so that way you can like see stash and stuff, let me know. Let me know if that's a remote interest to anybody. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys. Thanks for joining me.